All right, maybe. There we go.
We're live. Go ahead.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Inclusion Matters podcast with Inclusion Pro Wrestling. Tonight, we are joined by Andrew Morgan. But before we start, ladies and gentlemen, our podcast has just acquired a brand new sponsor, and I'd be remiss if I didn't name them right now. So thank you to El Ranchero's Mexican Cantina in Longview, Washington, for your sponsorship to this podcast. Now, without further ado, Andrew, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name, everybody in wrestling calls me Magic. I've been wrestling since I was about 16 years old. Yeah, I got like 42, 43 years in the business. You know, I started with these guys called James. They were cousins. One lived in Queens and one lived in the Bronx. So they had these little wrestling companies, and it's pretty loud out here because everybody's in the supermarket screaming because I'm at work. I started my wrestling career at that time. You know, they got me a little bookings, and it wasn't great bookings, but it was a little something, you know. And we used to get paid by barbecue because we were young. We didn't know nothing about wrestling, really. We were getting trained by them.
Got ya.
Yeah, I've been wrestling on the East Coast for, like I said, 42, 43 years.
Wow. So, who were your
Yeah, give me
wrestling heroes? Oh, go ahead.
Thank
Sorry.
you. No, I was waiting for this truck go by. I can hear a little better. I hate
Gotcha.
working. Today's like the busiest day at all times. So I'm going to walk away from here and see if I can get into a better position. Yeah. So, you know, it's like, you know, I've been wrestling for a long time. That's why they call me the icon, the legend. What they call me, Father Time, because they make fun of me. You know, the joke is I taught Jesus how to wrestle or something like that. They got all kinds of jokes on me.
Hey, but the joke's on them, right? Because you're still going, so.
Yeah, you know, next year I'll be 60 years old. You know, I'm thinking I'm getting ready to close the doors and maybe get into the ring. You know, because when you get old, you don't get no better. You know what I'm saying? You don't heal up better.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. I had to jump in my car because it's crazy out there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I work with a company called Titans Enterprise. You know, over in Jersey area. I'm from Jersey and New York. I own a company called Funhouse Wrestling, and it's basically like a kiddie show. I love
Got it.
gimmicks. Yeah. So how you guys found out about me? That's the funny part. Y'all in Pacific area.
I do a lot of research. I find a lot of promotions, and I just do a lot of asking, and people have been generous enough to accept our little podcast. And well, I guess we shouldn't say we're that little anymore because we're up to 100 and almost 50 episodes.
Nice.
And you know, and a little bit more. As we said, it's also Inclusion Pro Wrestling. So yes, we're dabbling a little bit in promoting ourselves and trying to run a company ourselves. So
Let me know, man. I'll send some guys down there and have some fun. I'll take care of them.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. So you got any questions, ask, man. I'm free to open, man. I'll tell you everything.
all right.
All right. So, who were your wrestling heroes growing up?
Tell you the truth, the Mighty Igor. I don't know if y'all know who he was, the Mighty Igor. I'm going way behind your time. It always been Dusty Rhodes, Superstar Billy Graham. I was Bruno Sammartino fan. You know, Bob Backlund was my favorite guy. because he wasn't a big guy, but he was built. He gave short guys an opportunity to could hold down. He's like one of the guys wasn't a giant. Uh, Ivan Putski, those are my heroes at that time. Even Gorilla Mazoon was one of mine. Bubba. A lot of people don't know Brown Sugar because there was two of them. Jacqueline was one that worked in the WWF, and there was another guy
Yep.
called Sweet Brown Sugar that wrestled in NWA.
Gotcha.
Ooh, wow.
I do remember that.
I used to watch wrestling everywhere, man. I used to watch it when we used to have this second channel in New York. It was VHF, I think it was, or UFH or something like that. I used to watch those channels, and I used to watch wrestling from California. I used to watch Mexico wrestling on them channels, and that's how I got into wrestling. My mom's always had me watching wrestling since I was a kid. She used to be a wrestling fan.
Gotcha.
Very cool. Okay. So can you tell us about some of your biggest rivals?
Biggest rivals I have, and you're talking about famous people. All right, let's go by people been on TV. ECW was Raven.
Whoa.
Buddha Sin that became Buddha Sin. He became Balls Mahoney.
Ooh.
I remember Buddha Sin as Balls Mahoney. King Kong Bunny.
Oh,
It was so many of them. I got the chance to wrestle against Anvil Neidhart. Wasn't my big rebel. It was just something I did. I got hooked up because my other trainer was Iron Mike Sharp.
oh,
I've been
wow.
wrestling way before I met Iron Mike Sharp, but I wasn't learning how to really wrestle. You understand what I'm saying? I was trained by these guys just to get in the ring and get beat up and thrown around because I was a heavy set guy, and and they said, well, we'll train you to how to go over the ropes and stuff like that. And that's what I was. A guy that the champion could beat up because I was a big guy. Short but big and stocky, you know what I mean?
Right.
So they only trained me how to get beat up, basically. And then I learned psychology when I went to Iron Mike Sharp. Even Gina Garuso from ECPW taught me how to wrestle a little bit too, as well,
Wow.
because Iron Mike Sharp was a brawler. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't know the difference. He was a brawler wrestler. So I learned how to brawl. And then Gino Garuso, when I got time, I learned how to put combinations, techniques together. So I got my opportunity to learn, from two different trainers. But Iron Mike Sharp is my main trainer. And when I first started really wrestling, not just before Iron Mike Sharp, I learned from Bobby the Ball Eagle in Gleason's gym in
Gotcha.
Brooklyn. I learned a little something from him, but we only been there for 3 or 4 months, me and my best friend Tony. And then he closed down.
So you've been in the ring with some massive people.
Yeah, I had my time, you know what I'm saying? I had time. I wrestle Rocco Rock in Jersey All Pro. And
wow.
then I became a trainer in Jersey All Pro.
Very cool.
That's how you got what they call Power and Glory from NWA, Power and Santis and what you call them?
Oh,
They became
Proud and
Ortiz.
yeah,
Yeah.
Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah.
Santana. And then you got Jay Lethal.
Oh.
Chris Dickerson, this guy called Eric Third. It's so many people. I don't want to make a mistake and forget because I forget a lot of guys. Too many chair shots in my life and I forget things. You ask me what I did tomorrow, and I'll be like, I don't remember until somebody say, "Oh, you did that," and then I'll catch on to it. But I trained a lot of guys from the East Coast.
Amazing.
Yeah. So you go ahead.
Go ahead.
I had a lot of guys. Jersey All Pro was like the East Coast wrestling out that time. And a lot of guys from Jersey All Pro went around the world, you know?
Yeah. Um. So I have to know, what was it like wrestling Raven?
Yo,
'Cause-
tell you the truth, it was a fun experience. It was fun. I had a broken hand, right? I had not a broken hand. I tore my ligaments in my thumb. So they put a cast on, so I had to wrestle with a cast. Um, I messed up his finisher, the DDT, and then we had to do it again. And you got to remember, I was almost 400 pounds at that time, too. You know, when you're only 5'10" and you weigh 400 pounds, there's a lot of weight you got to throw around, you know? And he grabbed me, but he didn't grab me tightly. He's very, how you say it, gentle.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'd heard that about him.
Very good guy. Very good. Oh, I forgot Stevie Richards. I wrestled him a couple of times.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. I have to say it.
Go ahead.
I'm not worthy, man. You're amazing.
Dude, I'm just a normal dude. Got lucky, bro. That's all, man. I just got lucky. You know what I'm saying?
oh, wow.
You know,
Because
there's a lot of other wrestlers that did more than I did. You know, I was more a homebody. I was more a I was more a trainer than more a wrestler. I taught more than I wrestled, basically, but I got around, I got to travel around the world a little bit with Iron My Shop. I'm not gonna lie, I was on his coattails. You know, I followed my teacher that I called my father of wrestling.
the hell of a teacher.
Yeah. He was the guy who get beat up every time you see him on WWE, you know?
Yeah, but he still came back. So
Yeah. Rest his soul, man. It really hurt my heart when he died,
yeah.
Another guy that was great, used to make my outfits, Adrian Streets. He used to make all my wrestling outfits. Rest
Wow.
his soul. Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead, Nate.
The reason I kind of went a little bit nuts on the ECW is, first of all, I'm a huge ECW fan, like from way back.
Yes.
And before I did this podcast, I actually did an internet radio show with the original Pitbull, Gary Wolf.
Yeah, Gary Wolf is the man. I talk to him all the time.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Jason Knight, another one I forget too. I wrestled back and forth. Me and Jason Knight had a few big things going on. And he got his own company coming up August 12th. Assassin of Wrestling. Yeah, wow. Jason Knight. I'm working for him on the 12th in Jersey.
Wow.
Cool.
Jason Knight opened his own company.
Very cool. Well, just with those answers of who he's wrestled and who his heroes were, these next questions should be really good. So,
yeah,
we're just gonna go ahead and go right into them. Your top 5 favorite tag teams of all time.
Well, I would say it'd be me. No. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I thought the Charlotte Wrecking Crew, that was me and this guy named Suba, was one of the top guys on the indies at that time. We got invited to OVW, and we was going to train, but Jim Ross felt that we were too little, so they sent us home.
Wow.
Jim Ross wanted me to get bigger arms. He wanted us to be cut. And the idea they wanted to do is bring us as the pit bulls because we were short and we were stocky. I'm 5'10", to them that's short. My boy Suba was 5'9", but we were heavy guys, and they wanted us to go home and juice up, that's the bottom line. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie, And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Don't blame you.
I would be dead right now if I would have done that,
Absolutely.
Yeah. The top 5. A lot of people don't know. I like Power and Glory.
Ooh.
Yes.
I definitely like I like the Harlem Heat. I was a big
Yep.
fan of Can-Am.
Yep.
I was a fan of Ivan Putski and Tito Santana. Yeah,
Wow.
what else? I was a fan of somebody else. I can't remember some of these guys. Oh, Chief J Strongbow and Billy White Wolf.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yes, please.
I'm old school.
So are we. So you're preaching to the choir on.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad somebody understand what I'm saying, because when I say Billy White Wolf and them, they're like, what?
Oh no, I get it.
Yeah, I liked the Samoans, and I definitely, celebrated when because I'm a black guy, I'm a colored dude, African American. They want to say now, I might sell somebody. But when Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson became champions, that was great. But after they won the title, you really never seen them wrestle together no more too much.
Exactly. They did nothing with it. Like you had
Yeah.
the fanfare after they beat the Samoans, and it was like nothing.
Right, and then we found out the backstory. They didn't like each other. We hear all this other stuff behind the scenes. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah. So we was kids. Like yeah. We thought Chief J Strongbow was a real Indian, and find out he's Italian. It kills your childhood.
Yeah.
You
Um.
know.
So let's go top 5 female wrestlers of all time.
Oh, all right. I gotta say the queen of all queens is Moolah. I don't care what they say about Moolah, but she was the top dog. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Wendy Wickler. I fell in love with Jacqueline.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, I definitely. I thought I can't say her name right. Lataya, the Hart's
Uh,
daughter.
Natalia.
I think she's the awesome girl. She's a built right, and her and Beck Phoenix should have been a bad tag team together.
I completely agree with that.
They just don't know what to do with them. They just screwed them over. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Um. I like Bertha. Bertha. See, I'm forgetting the names already.
Bertha
Big
Faye.
girl. Bertha Bay.
Yep.
She was another one, and like I said, Rennie Ricker I liked, but my favorite was Moolah. She was an old chick. She was an old chick, and she was tough. I wasn't too much. I didn't know too much about Mae Young, but I know more about Moolah.
Hmm.
And Rocket Robinson.
Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't remember the Hart girls. They were a tag team. They were the
Yes.
WWE female tag team, but they didn't stay long either. They didn't push them that much either.
No, they didn't. And
So,
I agree with you on Moolah. She might have had the stuff that people said, but you can't deny the people she put out of that school or out of her house or whatever,
yes. Yes. And we're talking about top workers, like I said, there's a lot of good workers out there. So many of them in different eras.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my childhood is different what it is now. We're talking about 40, 50 years when I was watching it when I was a kid, It's different for what they are now,
Yep.
And another one I like is Jerry Law. I love the King gimmick.
Oh, very much so.
So, there's a lot of old guys I like. I can go on all day with these old guys.
And that would work for me. I have cerebral palsy, so I live in a nursing home. So most people study like, science or math,
You
right?
study wrestling.
I study pro wrestling, right? Like I'm on my tablet looking up like old wrestling matches and
See, you like me. I used to love watching the AWA, the UWF, and well, NWA had territories. A lot of people don't remember AWA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the big stampede before WrestleMania, where
Yep.
NWA, AWA, and some other company used to get together. I can't remember the third company, but I remember Jeff Jarrett's father's company. They all used to get
It
together and
was
put that big
Memphis. Yeah.
success. And remember they used to put that big show on
Yep.
that
It was like the
the
Super Show.
yeah, before WrestleMania. They were doing it before WWE got big in it.
Yeah, but nobody called him on it. You know what I mean? Nobody gave him credit for it. And then Vince McMahon made WrestleMania, and it was like, oh, okay, well,
Everybody else sucked. Yeah.
yep.
The Von Erich's father, another one was part of it.
Yeah, I mean, the Sportatorium in Dallas, man, that they were having like WrestleMania style cards like every night. So
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. See, a lot of people don't know those good days, you know. Like I always tell all these wrestlers, know your history. Not
mm-hmm.
what you know now, but learn how it all started. The godfathers of wrestling.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, you're up.
All right. Well, before we ask the next question, I've got breaking news.
Ooh,
we now
I like
have
breaking.
we now have a new second sponsor as of today. Thank you to Precision Power Washing in Longview for all your power washing needs. Please see Precision Power Washing on Facebook or Instagram.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So that's two new sponsors in this hour for our promotion. Breaking news right here, everybody.
You know, and usually I save this for the end, but if you don't mind, Tony, I think he would have, if anybody of our guests would understand our mission statement, I think it would be our guest today. So do you mind if I take that for a second?
Okay. We were going to go right into a question, but yeah, go ahead.
So, as I said, like I have cerebral palsy, so I'm in a wheelchair. 3 of the members on our the creative team and the board, or not but the board of directors, have a physical disability. So our goal with Inclusion Pro Wrestling is to say you might have been told you can't do something because of your disability or because of whatever, but come on in, and if you want to try this, give it a shot, right? Like we're gonna find a place for you. We're gonna make you help you live your dream. Right?
That's
no questions asked. Don't turn anybody away. If you figure out later you don't want to do it, that's fine. But we're gonna give you the chance to.
You see, I look at disability is only because you want it to be. But I see a lot of guys with disability does better work than most people can walk and will talk and everything else. So I don't look at it as you look at it as a handicap. I look at it not. You know, I look at it as you doing better. You know, you could do anything you want.
That's right.
And, you know, the only people that don't want to do something is the lazy ones.
I love that sentiment.
You know? So I don't look at disability as a handicap thing. I look at it as something that, you know, is you had a bad time at. It's something that went wrong, but your mind is still strong.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Tony, go ahead.
Ain't that right? Y'all get more girls than we do.
That's true.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's do your top 5 male wrestlers of all time. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this should be good.
I think I did that already. All right.
Yeah, he did that one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's change it up. What is your pre-match and your post-match routine?
When I come out, how I like to come out? Well, lately I've been calling myself the king of buffets. My hometown. I'm from the nearest buffet. You know? You know, everybody calls me the icon, the legend, Magic. and the nearest place I'm from the buffet, you know. And when I always get in the ring and after my match, I'm like, I'm getting too old for this, and then I'll jump up and say, I'm going to the buffet to get some energy. Yeah, that's my whole thing now. You know, when you get older, you know, I'm not the mean guy no more. I'm like the happy fat guy that dances and stuff like that, you know, and talk about, yo, we're gonna go to a buffet, let's go eat or something, you know. Or once in a blue moon, I know somebody's eating something, I'll jump out the ring, eat their food, and say, yeah, I got some energy, and go back in, you know. Or when I do something stupid, like if I take a splash and the guy move, I'm like, oh my God, I shouldn't have ate that damn burger, that extra burger, you know. I show these stuff. You know, I talk a lot. You know, I'm like, oh, something I do, I was like, oh, that was stupid.
I love it.
So, you know, when somebody's leaning against the ring banner, against the post, I run into him like, yeah, I'm going to give him the biggest splash on the post, and I run into it. It's the stupidest thing I ever done. And I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. I try not to waste moves, and I try to walk. I don't run no more like I used to. I take my pace.
Got you.
I'm like Harley Race. Don't waste a move.
That's a good comparison, actually. I like that.
Yo, Harley
So-
Race did waste moves.
No, he didn't. So, what's the best advice your trainer ever gave you, and do you still use that advice today?
I use it today. Be kind to everybody. Show respect to the fans and everybody in the locker room. You know, always try to help each other out, not put people down.
Very, very good advice.
And I've been doing that since I opened Funhouse, since I trained. I tell them the same thing. Everybody has a weakness in wrestling. You know, we all can't jump and do flips right away. It's having patience and taking time. If you want it, you'll stay with me, and I'll train you the best way I can to get to that point. I never turn people down. I always push them more and more to get to that point.
I love that.
You know, that's what you do. You know, everybody got a position in wrestling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, y'all don't know. There's a lot of wars in Jersey out here, man. These promoters are beating each other up, going after each other. Yeah.
Man.
It's like you know, we all supposed to work together, but out here, man, it seems like it's a war. You know, everybody hates each other. Your company suck and this company suck, and I laugh at them because I'm like, why would you say that when we all use the same guys?
Exactly.
Work, you know, so you're calling the people you work in your company, you're calling them suck. You know?
Yeah.
And they all want everybody to close down. If you make all these companies close down, can you afford to hire 4,000 wrestlers? On one, yeah, it doesn't work that way. This is independent. Even the WWE can't afford 4,000 wrestlers.
It's a very good point.
You know?
Well, to be honest, WWE can't afford much of anything anymore.
Well, that's true.
Well, they got a big, they got a big group. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, you got the guy who sweeps the floor all the way up to the people that do the lights and all that stuff. So much people in production. If everybody asks me if you wish you could own the WWE, no, I don't. Because I can't deal with all that. You know, you're talking about WWE, got at least about 3,000 people working for them.
Oh, at
per
least.
show.
Yeah.
You know, you got to deal with the fire department. You got to deal with this and that, security. So, you know, from the guy from the bottom to the top has to run that production. It's like a well machine, you know? So those guys you got to appreciate. I appreciate anybody. You know, I go in there, I'll shake a janitor's hand, you know, because he's part of the show. He's the guy who helps clean up and keep people safe. Security. So, you know, you got to look at all the people that work with the companies, got to be appreciated. You know, I appreciate them all because if it ain't for them, it won't be no wrestling. It's not just putting wrestlers together and throw them in the ring and that's it. No, it's the people that help from the bottom up.
Absolutely.
Very true.
You know, even the podcast is you guys. Y'all the most important. Because y'all get people to get to know who we are. You get to push companies out there and so on. So it's a lot y'all do to help the promoters get over as well, and wrestlers.
Well, we appreciate that.
We do.
So
Look at me, I'm in Pacific airtime. You know, a lot of people don't know me from Pacific. You know, they know me from Eastern. You know, if I'm in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, maybe
Mhm.
parts of Florida, they know me. But now I'm in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah.
And we do have a lot of viewers in Colorado too. So
yeah,
So,
we
you
do.
know, that's what I'm saying. You know, I never know. Maybe somebody might call me and say, hey, Matt, you want to come down and wrestle for me? I'm like, hell yeah, because of you guys,
We do have some connections in Colorado, so
you know?
and California.
and
See?
California.
You might be the guy be like, yo, Matt, before you retire, this guy may want you to come down and wrestle. Okay. You know, I love wrestling. And a lot of people don't know, I opened a company called Funhouse Wrestling. Exactly what
Right.
it is. You know, I wish I can pay all my workers hundreds of dollars, but you know, reality is not. It's not reality. You know, let's go reality. I can't afford to pay that. I don't work a great job where I'm making thousands of dollars a week. You know,
Mm.
Right.
but I make sure I have food for my workers. I make sure they're comfortable, and you know, I don't yell at them because everybody make mistakes, and we're more gimmicks wrestling. We don't have no more.
Right.
We don't have too many gimmick wrestlers. So I'm
Mhm.
more a gimmick wrestling promoter and a wrestler. So I know how it is. When I do my locker room, I pay everybody and I try to feed everybody that they don't have to go out to buy food. You know, try to keep that little bit of money in their pocket. So, you know, we make meatballs, pepper and sausage, spaghetti, whatever we feel like that time we got the money for. So we try to keep our company fed and well drinked. You know, we give them a lot of water because I don't buy sodas and Gatorades no more. I did that and I get mad because somebody take 2 or 3 sips of Gatorade and they leave it on the table. You know, you're throwing all these sipping Gatorades because they don't drink the whole bottle. So to me, it's a waste of my money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes me mad. That's the only thing that makes me mad. Don't waste my money.
Completely understandable.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Messiah,
go ahead,
go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
your question.
I insist. After you.
All right. Top 5 indie male wrestlers today.
Indies. Well, it depends, you know, gimmick wise.
Sure, we could go gimmick wise. That would be interesting. So
All right. There's a guy called Rob Chase.
okay.
He's from ECPWA. I like Troy, TJ McCooney, big guy. Chris Dickinson, but he's been around a lot.
Yep.
Darius Carter. He dressed up like he's like the $1 million guy, but a newer version. I'm surprised he ain't on TV.
Got ya.
You know, it's so many. You know, as hardcore as a female, I love Rebecca Payne. You know, she's in the Pittsburgh and New Jersey area. Hardcore chick. Every match I see, she got blood on her. And she's like 5'2".
Mm.
You know, it's so many of them. You know, including my champion. You know, it's so many of them. You know, it's so many I could appreciate. You know,
Right.
I like, you know, Gabby. See, too many chair shots. I love everybody in Funhouse. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha.
You know, but there's a lot of workers, a lot of good workers, and some of them you're like, they're like every other worker.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite independents out there?
Um. Right now, let's
Yeah.
see. There's a group down here in Washington that's it's a group of, I think it's 5 now, called Hellbound,
Mm,
and they're killing it down here. Like,
nice.
one of them is called the Rat King, and he's held the championship for about a year down here.
Yeah, I think I know who that is. I heard of him.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, they're killing it down here. So that would be my top. What do you think, Tony?
Well, you can't go wrong when you bring up these two men because they're probably the belt collectors of the independents, Mr. Matt Cardona and Mr. Gino I Told You So Rivera.
I heard of him.
Oh yeah.
I heard of him. Yes, I heard of him. Wow. It's so many wrestlers out here now. Yeah. You know who else I liked it? I liked, and he's been around for a long time. Mr. Ooh La La. If you ever heard that name, that's another
he
guy.
actually does a lot in Portland.
Yeah, I wrestled against him a few times, and he's a funny dude.
yes, he is.
I have fun. When we was when we came into ECPW, I think it's called. ECPW, I think it is. EC something. ECWA or something like that. It was owned by Kettner. But we went in there. We was the Charlotte Wrecking Crew. We're wild. One guy screaming "shoe," I'm screaming I'm gonna hurt somebody, and then we had to wrestle Mr. Ooh La La, the funniest guy in the business, I believe, at that time. Hey, you trying to keep a straight face, and you want to kill him. You're supposed to go in there monsters, and you're trying to keep a straight face, and he just makes you laugh.
Oh yeah, and he's still doing that.
Yes, he's still wrestling. Bless his soul. Very good guy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
Nathan.
all right.
I'm going to do it, buddy. I'm going to steal your thunder.
Okay, go ahead.
And these should be phenomenal matches that he comes up with, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
So
I would say so.
we're going to have you put your booker hat on. We know you're a booker. We know you're a promoter. So we're going to have you put that hat on. And we want you to book us your best WrestleMania card with 6 to 7 matches.
All right. Tag team. I would love to have Power and Pain when they were still fresh and young.
Mm-hmm.
They go against the Mega Power. That was Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage.
Ooh.
That would have been a nice match to see.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Harlem Heat. Take on what's his name? Axon
Demolition? Axon Smash?
Yeah, Axon Smash. I'd like to see that. Or Power of Pain. Either one of them. It would have been great. I would love to see Randy Orton take on Triple H again.
Yes.
And I would love to go back and see Ric Flair take on Triple H. That would have been a great match. Because we all seen Shawn Michaels and what you going. If with the big boys, I would love to see Sid Vicious take on Big Show.
Ooh.
For the Giants, both guys can move. Both guys were both big guys.
Ooh, like that.
If it was still around, I would love to see. I would love to see Agent Streets take on what the hell is his name? From the '60s. Did the full boring for everybody else did.
Oh, Adrian Adonis.
Not
No, that
Adrian
wasn't
Adonis, older than him.
Gorgeous.
He's gorgeous, yeah, gorgeous George.
Yep, there you go.
That would have been a great match, you know.
That would have been
And
a great match.
yes, and I would love to see Charlotte take, and I mean Charlotte really wrestling against Naomi.
Ooh.
You know, not what they did. Not watering it down for Charlotte to go over, but this one is a good fight. You know, I wanted to see that. You know, they both come out with their best. Both girls can fly. Both girls can go in. You know.
Yes.
I would love to see Ivan Putski take on the Mighty Igor at that time. You know, we're going back now.
No, I'm with you.
You know, Ivan Putski was a short, heavy set dude that he'll carry a little chicken bone and all that stuff. I used to love him, bro. They take on Ivan Putski, the Polish Power. They both were short. They both were strong. That would have been great.
Very nice.
Wow. Go ahead, Nathan. Say your comment. You know you want to.
I would pay any amount of money for that card, and then twice on Sundays.
I wish it could happen. It would be great, man. These guys on the prime, but you know, nowadays they got this new thing with the computers. Like they did, Muhammad Ali took on Rocky. What you call him? Remember that?
Yeah, Rocky Balboa. Yeah.
No. Muhammad Ali took on the original Rocky. What you call him? And
Marciano.
Yes, and they showed Muhammad Ali lost. My computer generated. You know, they showed everything. I was like, yo, this is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, they could do wrestling like that now. You know, do that for the hell of it. It'd be great. I wish I could get a program to do that.
That
but
would
you know,
be amazing.
now you can do it by video games, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. But you know, a lot of these guys don't have the old timers on there.
No, but you can always create them.
Yes. Any other good questions?
Yep. What's the wildest crowd you've ever wrestled in front of?
The wildest, when I went to Puerto Rico, and I was a bad guy. They asked me to be a bad guy, and I said, okay. I was with Iron My Shop, and I was talking about how great their country is, and I said, oh, wow, it's beautiful to see a whole bunch of Mexicans, because the real Puerto Ricans are in the Bronx, where I came from, New York, and I couldn't wrestle that day. They threw me out of the arena. They took me out of the arena. They were throwing fucking all kinds of shit at me.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, Puerto Ricans got their pride, you know?
Oh, that they do.
And what made them more pissed off, I call them a bunch of Mexico. I said, it's great to see a bunch of Mexican in this great country. And then I turned around and said, the real Puerto Ricans are in the Bronx in New York. And that was it, man. It was time for me to go. They told me get heat. I got heat, and it was like, get something for you, go. And I never went straight to my hotel to the airport in my life. So I knew I did good, but I never got invited back to Puerto Rico again after that, you know.
Gee, wonder why.
I think it was great heat. You go back and people hate you more, you know, when you come back, but it never happened.
No, it was great heat.
It was great heat.
Yo, never went back. And we're talking about 20, 30 years ago. I was young. Told me
okay.
to go out there.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, and the second biggest crowd I ever been to was called a company called Stars and Stripes Wrestling. It didn't last that long. It was owned by a guy named Carmike. He had that I don't know what it's called, but he could never come out the house. He get lightheaded if he walk down the block and stuff. I think he got better. I'm not sure, but he's a good.
Gotcha.
I still talk to him now, but he was like that fright that come out of his house or something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it right now
yeah.
either, though. But
And he used to run companies called Stars and Stripes at home, and his mom used to help out a lot. And we did it at Man Evil Times in New Jersey, and it was like awesome. You know, had Scott Steiner there. It was his day before he went to WWE. They made him a champion the day before he went to WWE. They thought it was going to help him out a little bit, you know, but I don't know if it did anything for him. Ox Baker was there.
wow.
It was a few guys they paid for. I just don't remember. But it was like you're walking down a WWE ramp, but it was a horse stable, you know, where they have the sword fights and everything. But it was
Gotcha.
awesome. The TV production was there. It was good. Oh, shoot. I forgot another one. This guy they called Charlie, Uncle Charlie, did a Phillies show for Stan Hansen. They did a tribute for Stan Hansen, and that was a big show too, man.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. And he disappeared. You know, I forget these company names because too many chair shots, too many companies in this company. You gotta remember every UWA, NWA, AAC. You know, there's so many names. You know, but there was some good shows. SSW had a couple of big shows. Titans Championship Wrestling had a few good shows. You know, big houses at one time, you know.
Absolutely.
And then Titans made big shows after where we had that COVID virus. You know, they did a couple of shows during the COVID virus series, but after that, everybody died a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the companies, this business are going bad, and COVID in New York and New Jersey area is just not as great like it used to be.
That is true. All right, Tony, you're up.
All right. Well, let's do in your opinion, the best wrestler turned actor.
I gotta give all three of them. The Rock. Why can't I remember the name? Big ball headed dude. Playing the Galaxy. Batista and John Cena is doing pretty good. Hogan wasn't my favorite actor. He was okay, but he was more too cartoonish.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you know. But those are my big big actors. I wasn't too much on the Edge either.
No, I wasn't either.
Yeah, so those are my top.
So let's go top 5 managers of all time.
Oh man, that's easy. The Grand Wizard, Bobby Heen, Slick, Mr. Fuji. If you want to put a girl in it, we gotta give it to Sonny and Miss Elizabeth.
Very good list.
But I'm sorry, I didn't think Miss Elizabeth was beautiful. I'm sorry, a lot of people get on me. I think she was okay, but everybody loved her. She gave you that pity look, that pity thing when Macho Man did his job, making her, feel like she put her down all the time. That was good. But let's don't forget Freddie Lassie either.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, another great guy. It's so many. The one that why can't I remember him? I used to hang out with him all the time with his daughter. The one with the rubber bands in his face.
Captain Lou Albano.
Lou Albano. I used to hang out with his daughter.
Wow.
And he has a book too. They wrote out.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want people I don't like next?
Sure.
All right. I don't like Sting. I don't like Isla the Butcher.
Okay.
I deal with these people. That's about it.
Ah.
Wow.
And and Paulie.
Gotcha.
The reason I don't like Paulie, he robbed me.
We've heard that about a lot of
Yeah.
of people.
Believe me, when I did the radio show with Gary Wolf, you did not bring up Paulie on that radio show. I'll tell you that right now, because
Yeah, those are the people I did.
Yep.
So
I don't
All
hate them. I just don't like them.
there we go. Well, okay, so let's do a couple more questions here, Nathan. So let's do
I gotta get back. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So why don't we go ahead and let you do your final question, Nathan, and then we'll just go ahead because he's at work. We should let him get back to work.
Okay, so where can we find you on social media, and when's your next show or match?
All right, my next show is coming up September 2nd. It's the Funhouse Wrestling. You go look it up on Facebook. It's Funhouse Wrestling. And if you want to get Magic Morgan, you'll see my Facebook. Basically, I do Facebook. I don't do I don't do too much of other ones. I do Instagram. It'd be Magic of Charlene.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you type up Andrew Morgan, you'll catch me everywhere. Basically, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, just under Andrew Morgan, and I'm on Reels. Same thing.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll make this quick. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing us into your houses this evening. Inclusion Pro Wrestling, where inclusion matters, coming soon. And thank you to the new sponsors that we have, El Rancheros and Precision Power Washing. Nathan, go ahead and take us out with your last two sponsors.
It's the CARE program. Go ahead.
I want to say, guys, I want to thank y'all very much for reaching out to me, man. It was a pleasure, man. If I didn't have to go to work, we could talk all day, man,
Absolutely, and you're welcome back anytime. If you want to come back on and we can do this again.
Let me know when y'all do it on a Thursday or a Friday. I'll be free all day.
Sounds good. We can make that happen, I'm sure.
I appreciate it, man. And guys, please stay safe and thank you for everything, man. I gotta run real quick.
All right, sounds good.
I'm glad y'all, and thank you for being a part of my life now, man. I got new friends, and y'all gonna be friends forever.
That's right.
When I text you, I'm like, "Why this guy's texting me again?"
Well, enjoy the rest of your evening at work, and I will book you again on our podcast very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Definitely, man. Thank you.
Thank
Love
you
you guys.
very much.
Talk to you later.
All right.
See you later, bud.
Bye.
Oh, these guys are awesome.
Okay, you want to go ahead and do the last closing, Nathan, and then we'll go ahead and...
So it's the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody, and you can get a hold of the lady that's in charge of that, which is Becky Bernhardt on Facebook, and Bruce Nichols Painting for all your painting, pressure washing, and lead removal needs, and you can find him on Angie's.
Absolutely, and we will see you guys next time. Be good to each other, and talk to you soon.